What's up, y'all? It's CJ Moto. I'm just going to be doing some video here using the actual iPhone and not using my mic or anything like that, so you're going to get what you're going to get. But today, I'm super excited. It only took like less than a week. I'm receiving my DVO Emerald forks right now. I'm going over to the UPS store. I'm just trying to figure out how the hell to get into the dang thing. I think I went into the wrong entrance. But anyhow, let's go check these things out. I'm gonna try to document picking these things up. I'm super excited. These are like $2,250 forks when they were new. They're still new, but this was back in 2015 or whatever. So got them on Luna and got an awesome deal, 1,100 bucks. So shipping was an additional only $30, I think. And I got the Cane Creek 40 tapered headset. Should be in the box with it. And we can get back home and start installing these suckers. So let's check them out. Ooh, it's like Christmas time today. I bet the customer center doesn't even know what they have in their hands.
Just need an ID and then you'll be good to go.
Well, that part worked out pretty well. It says Luna Cycles, so that's a good sign. They're light. Man, they don't weigh nothing. We got our little PVC pipe to install things. We've got our Cane Creek 40 headset. And ooh, that makes Fox look like freaking kids games. Whew. Check this out. We got stickers. You know I love some stickers. We got a pump for them. The manual. Best thing about that pump, doesn't say Fox. Alright, so there she is. We got the DVO Emerald forks. Got my shock pump, some sweet stickers. I've got my Cane Creek 40 headset. So that's the one you want, at least for the small part. That's this part right here. That's the Zero Stack ZS 44 short top. And then this came in a separate bag right here. And I'm not even really quite sure what size that is. It looks like 40.ZS55. So anyhow, there's that. And yeah, I already have this on my existing stuff, so I'll probably use the one that I already have. We'll go take a look at that real quick. So yeah, there's the pinch bolt or top crown bolt, whatever you want to call it, that I already have. So now we just got to start going ahead and pulling this front fork off. We're not going to be able to use that front fender anymore, it doesn't look like. Which is fine, unless I figure out a way to mount it up under there. But man, that thing's beautiful. It's going to look sweet. So I'm going to lose the JBL speaker right there. I'm going to have to take all this number plate off and just start tearing everything out. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, I got the number plate off right there. I saved the zip ties. You can remove them without actually damaging them. Loosen up these clamps on your stem, one on each side. Loosen up all 4 of these pinch bolts. Once you get them loose, we're going to remove the axle and the front wheel. I got the back wheel of the bike Gorilla taped to this pole right here. And then I got the bike on this stand. Probably not the smartest idea, but I'm not the smartest guy. Now we just, you're gonna need 2 of the same size Allen keys to loosen these up. These both thread out. Make sure that when you install these on your new forks, you always put some Loctite on these. These get lost a lot. Alright, so I finally got the front wheel off. The axle was a pain in the ass to get out. I totally loosened these up and it was jammed in there. So I'd put a little bit of grease on your axle and then put a little bit of grease on the inside of these cups that go on your wheel. And then put a little bit of grease inside here, because you could see it was just kind of like rusty and dry in there. And man, it was a pain in the butt to get it out. So yeah, a little bit of info, just put some grease in there from the next time. That way it'll be easier to get it off, because this bike only has like 300 miles on it, and it was a pain in the ass. It took me a while. Next step, the next step's gonna be to loosen up these pinch bolts, top and bottom, and we can slide these fork tubes out. Once we do that, we can start removing the headset assembly. All right, so I'm actually only gonna loosen these top two pinch bolts and this back one. And then I'm gonna loosen up everything here and remove this cap right here. And I'm hoping that everything will just fall right out the bottom and I don't have to remove the triple trees off the bottom, just the top triple trees. So there, I just pulled the headset off, and this is your stem. So hopefully I won't have to trim much off or any off of the stem when I put the new one through. But here shortly, this should all just fall through when I loosen up this back pinch bolt. I'm gonna try to get it all off. I'm not gonna be able to really film it because it's gonna be a huge mess. We'll see what happens. So there you have it. I'm not paying attention. I'm yanking on wires and stuff, so I gotta figure all this out, but it's just pulling right on through. Everything's just popping right out. All right, so now we got the front assembly off. I went ahead and I moved all my handlebars and everything back and used Gorilla Tape, because now I'm protecting everything from moving and falling down, and I'm keeping everything installed basically. So I got that Gorilla Tape there. I got the front brake caliper Gorilla Tape to the seat. And now I can remove the headset and install my new King Creek headset, and then we'll get these shocks on there. But yeah, pretty much was able to just leave these in one piece. Already got the bottom bearing out. Just got to remove the rest of this assembly, top and bottom, and install the new headset. So now that's the old race. I just pounded it out. You just work your way from side to side. Boom, 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 until it eventually pops out. It takes a lot of force. It takes at least 15 or 20 hits with a brass punch or something, and you get that sucker out of there. Okay? And wipe out the shavings and any type of stuff that's left in there. Now I got the top one out, top headset race. Pretty sure that had to come out. Well, I hope it does. So now we got to go ahead and install this King Creek stuff. Got all this stuff to install right here, bottom and top. So that's the top headset race. You pound it in with this and a hammer. And you just take your time and work around and try to get it all in there nice and totally flush. I forgot to mention, this is the grease I'm using. It's called Atom Lube All-Purpose Grease. So put that all up in the headset and everything that you're doing. Put it in the races before you install these bushings too. Alright, so I got the King Creek top race in and the King Creek bottom race in. So now you just want to take some of this grease, like I said, and put the grease inside the top and bottom race, put the bearings in, and then the dust caps on. Okay, so there's going to be a bottom race that you have to press fit onto this pole right here. That was a pain in the ass. So you just got to go around it with the PVC pipe. You just put the PVC pipe on there like this, and you just pop, 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 and don't hit your beautiful forks, okay? All right, now we're ready to slide this up through and see how our length is up top. So you want to put lots of grease in there. All right, you can always take grease away, you can't add more. So get lots of grease, put grease up in the headset up in here, and then we're going to slide it up through and see how our length is. All right, so the next step is you want to get your stack height just right, and you want to get that by having, once you get to the very top of everything, on the top of your stem, you want to be 3 millimeters below that, so that way you can suck everything up when you tighten this down up through here with your head bolt there. So we're just taking these sweet tube cutters and I'm cutting right to 3 millimeters shorter than the very top of the actual stem. So basically flush from this, 3 millimeters down that way. And then you get a good pull, so that way you can pull all your bearings up tight together, and then you pinch your pinch bolts down on the side, and that holds everything in place, as well as your pinch bolt and that other clamp. So let's go ahead and cut this and clean it up. So you just go like this, and then once you get to that point, you want to tighten this down a little bit, and just keep spinning it. So eventually you'll get all the way through, and then you can clean up that edge, and then we'll be able to clamp everything down and get it on. Boom! Then you gotta clean it up, fool. This ain't no Fox shock. Get her nice and clean, alright? You get the idea. Get your Dremel out and clean her up. Make her nice and clean, dog. Don't hit your wires. So there we go. We got a little bit of metal shavings, but look how nice and cleaned up that is. Get rid of all the edges on it, and then we're gonna put everything through. Then we're gonna put that little star nut thing in there. This guy. Gotta put your little star nut thing in there. Okay? That locks everything down. The next thing you're gonna do here is install your stem spacer. And you just want to tap that in with a punch, and you just keep on tapping on it. I put the nut on it, or the bolt in it, and just keep tapping, and it is a pain in the ass, but eventually it goes down in that tube, and it's what everything sucks down against. It's a bitch. Eventually you will get it down in the hole enough, and then you can take the nut out, and you're going to end up pulling everything tight with that. And you see we have like that 3 millimeters of space there. Perfect. So now the next step is going to be to go ahead and put this cap on, thread it down through, and then after I get it just almost to where it's starting to snug down, I want to loosen up these pinch bolts and loosen up this pinch bolt and pull everything tight, and then move the handlebars back and forth until I feel just to where it starts to have a teeny tiny bit of resistance. That means it's pulling all the bearings up tight. Alright, so we got the handlebars all lined up. We got this pinch bolt tightened down. We got these pinch bolts tightened down. We got the handlebars centered on the forks. Your top crown and lower crown, these and these, they only get to about 5 foot-pounds, or like 62 inch-pounds. So you just want to basically get on them with your wrench and tighten up. And you just want to just get them snug. 5 foot-pounds, so that means if you're 12 inches away from the socket point, it'd be 5 pounds of pressure. So just snug. Don't overdo those, and if you want to torque wrench them, that's even better yet. I'll probably do that at work. I'm just going to get them snug and then final tighten them to 5 foot-pounds. Like I said before, always put some blue Loctite on this guy, because they just love to get lost, and these ones are exceptionally beautiful. So Loctite them, torque them down to 5 foot-pounds, and then torque these standoff bolts or dropout bolts to 5 foot-pounds as well. Whew, that thing is smooth. Just gotta wipe off all the grease and metal dust. There she is, DVO Emerald, baby. I think she looks pretty damn good. Haven't taken it out yet, but it felt super plush. It runs less air pressure as the D&M forks I was running. This runs between like 60 and 100 psi, I think. Well, let's see, it actually says right here. You open this up, yeah, 60 and 100 psi, you pull this off, and that's where you get your, you fill your air up. And it even came with a shock pump, which I think I mentioned already. Came with a real nice shock pump, and it doesn't lose any air at all. You pump it up, you get exactly what you put in it. You don't lose any when you disconnect. God, they're beautiful. So we've got rebound here. We've got this is your OTT adjustment for your first few inches of travel, how sensitive that is and how much it soaks up in the very beginning. You got to let your air out to adjust your OTT. Rebound, and then down here on the bottom you've got your low speed compression and your high speed compression on the outside. All machined aluminum, magnesium lowers. Super nice. And that carbon torsion arch, this is all carbon. So no more fender, unless I decided I want to try to mount one, but I kind of like it without it. So there you have it. Let's go Ripper.